Hey guys, Phil from Trail Talk here, and today we're going to be looking at the 2022 mountain bike lineup for Orbea. All right, so let's waste no time. Let's get into it. Starting off with the Orbea Laufey. Don't know how to pronounce it properly, but I accidentally did miss this one out in my trail hardtail buyer's guide last year, which it definitely should have been in. So let's take a look at it because I think it's a great value bike. So starting off, 29-inch wheels, wide 2.6-inch tires, 140 mm of travel. So it's going to be a great do-it-all trail bike. So we'll jump into the H30 first, and then we'll look at the other ones. But I think that H10 is probably going to be that sweet spot at around $2,000. So let's take a look at the entry-level build here. So let's jump in. So as I said, 140 mm travel, boost axles front and rear. As you want to see on these kind of bikes, Dior M5100 drivetrain, Shimano MT201 brakes. So not too crazy there, but decent enough. Dropper post. So all that stuff on the entry level bikes not looking too bad. You got that Recon RL fork. So at this price point, it's okay, not the best out there, but still pretty good. But we'll jump into the geometry now. Where can we get that? Geometry and sizes. So jumping right in, 65.5-degree head angle. So that's really, really good. Then you're getting 435 chainstay. So that's good too. Reach, you're getting 459. So decent enough there, but you got a really high stack. So as always, when you got that on a hardtail, when the bike sags into its travel, you're going to have a little bit more reach. But you've also got a 75-degree head angle there. So that's super roomy. So overall, that reach is going to feel a fair bit longer than the 459 there. So the geometry on this bike, absolutely dialed. So you're not going to miss out there. I think it's going to be a great platform to upgrade on. So probably in my top 3 bikes, if you're looking for a good trail hardtail that you can really push in the descents, it's in that top 3 for sure. But I think in terms of value, I think the H10 here is going to be the pick of the bunch. What's also good to see as well, 2 water bottle mounts. So plenty of room for all that hydration there. But I really like this spec because you're getting that Marzocchi Bomber Z2, one of my favorite forks on the market. And then you're also getting Shimano M7, so SLX drivetrain with a Sunrace cassette. So save a little bit of money there on cassette, but cassette's a consumable item. You're always going to have to replace it in the future. And brakes, M6100 Shimano. So this one's going to be an absolute steal at this price. So on this one, we're going to give that excellent value there. On that one, the entry level one, good, but yeah, I think this one, amazing value. So I would recommend definitely checking out the H10 if you're looking for a great trail hardtail. Again, these are US prices here. So US dollars, so it might be a little bit different where you are, but for Bay Australia, there wasn't necessarily a lot of stock around, all that kind of stuff like that. So we jumped on and did the US pricing, but definitely check out the Laufey if you're looking for a great value trail hardtail. So next up, we'll look at the Ois quickly. Not going to be everyone's favorite bike on the XC side of things, but I think a lot of people that are into XC racing, more down country and that kind of stuff like that, might be interested in this bike. So let's take a quick look. So on the entry level side of things, we'll see if there is a H model. So there is an LA model here. So we'll jump onto it looks like the H30 is the entry level model. So let's see what we've got on this bike here. So it looks like you're getting a Fox 32, I would say, on this fork. So Fox 32 rhythm, DPS shock. So 120mm travel front and rear. Then drivetrain, you're getting M6100. So 12 speed there. So that's good to see as well. Let's take a quick look at the geometry. So no dropper post. But again, it's more of an XC race bike. But reach wise on the size large, 456. So pretty standard for an XC race bike. 75 seat angle, head angle 69. So pretty much bang on for an XC race bike these days. But we'll take a quick look kind of at that next model up in terms of when you're getting a dropper post. So there is a TR model, which again, for a lot of people looking for all that down country side of things, would probably be the one to look for. So we'll jump in and take a look at the TR, so the H10 TR. This would probably be my kind of style of build that I would probably gravitate towards because you are getting that Fox 34, so a little bit stiffer of a fork. So still 740mm wide bars, so very much on the XC end, but you're getting great spec. So XT, Shimano M61 100, so Dior brakes. Yeah, so that's a really good build for the money. What is it? I think it was around 3,600. We'll double check the price in a second, but we'll see if the geometry is a little bit different at all for the. No, so the geometry is the same for the TR model. So not going to be the most descending oriented kind of down country bike there, but for that price, we'll take a look which one that was. So HN 35.99, which I think is pretty good price for the money on that one. And that also is, so for an alloy frame, that looks incredible. So they've done a great job really polishing out those welds. Yeah, I think that's a really cool frame there. But yeah, we'll jump in. Again, not usually my cup of tea in bikes, but I think they're going to be good value on those ones as well. So if you're looking for an XC race bike, good value. Not the most progressive in terms of geometry and XC race bike. There's some bikes kind of pushing that 68, 67 mark. But again, that's not going to be everyone's cup of tea for an XC race bike. So if your trails aren't the gnarliest in terms of XC and you're doing a bit more of the marathon kind of stuff as well, this is probably going to be a great option to look at. So Orbea, direct to consumer in a lot of places, some in store. But I think for a lot of people, it's going to be a bike that you'd probably be interested in. But we'll jump into the Rayon. It's depending on who you talk to. This was my dream bike when they originally came out a few years ago, but it was updated, I believe in the last 6 or so months. So let's take a quick look at the bike. So depending on which one, you can go 29 front, 29 rear, 27.5 inch rear. So there's a mullet option, 170 mil front, 160 rear. And it's really going to be an enduro bike that you can push your limits on. So they've done a few cool upgrades. So let's check it out. As always, we'll jump onto the entry-level builds first, and then we'll kind of work our way up. So looks like at this point in time only, there is carbon only at this point in time. So going to be a little bit of a barrier for entry for people kind of getting into the bike, but I think so let's jump in. So on this entry-level model here, so the price was, we'll double check on that one. So $49.99. So kind of around that $5,000 mark. So it looks like you're getting Fox 38 Performance, Floatex. So that's that new version of the DPX2. I think I've called it the DPX2 and a few of the other ones so far, but that's the new Fox shock there. So 38. Then you're getting Shimano. So you're getting SLX drivetrain, brakes. You're getting 4-piston Shimano Diors. So really smart spec on the bike. There's not much that I would really change here. So I think you're going to get a really good bike for the money here, especially with that carbon frame too. So yeah, the value is really, really good on this. I think I'm pretty impressed with that. You're getting good tires too. So Assegai and decent compounds. And then you're getting DHR in the rear. So I think this is going to be a good option if you're looking for more of an enduro race bike. You're pushing the descents. The old one was a little bit more playful, but this one looks a fair bit longer. So bang up to date with all the trends. So the MT is the mullet option. Then you've also got the other options as well. So we'll just look at the standard options. So large. This is going to be confusing. Yeah, so I think, that's the large. Okay, we'll go here. So 485 reach. So nice there. Stack 637, 64 and a half, 64 head angle around there. Pretty much 440, bang up to date with all those trends and stuff like that. So I think this is going to be a great option if you're looking for a carbon enduro bike and you want something that's really good spec for the money. Again, granted, a little bit of a barrier for entry price-wise, but yeah, it's probably one of the better value carbon bikes on the market at the moment. So yeah, we'll give that one decent value too. So kind of excellent, good value there as well. Couple of better bikes, might be one or two on the market. You're getting a little bit better spec for the money, but I think that's up there with some of the best in terms of the actual spec that you're getting for the money. Not necessarily a cheap price, but still, that price point, there's not much that really competes with that in carbon frame in that spec. So good job, Orbea, on that one too. So we'll jump onto the Occam, which is my favorite bike in the lineup. Second favorite behind the Rise, but I think this is going to be a good option for a lot of people. So there's carbon alloy options, 140 rear, 150 front. I believe there is a slightly more aggressive option now that they've released. So we'll jump into it. So it's kind of similar geometry to like Siskiyou T. It's not going to be that more brawler or mountain bike, say like the Meta TR or the Norco site and stuff like that. It's going to be that true do-it-all bike. And then if you do want to push it a little bit more, there's that LT option. But from the ride reports and a lot of people that they've been saying, it kind of rides more in that trail bike side of the spectrum on the all-mountain kind of realm of things. But we'll jump into, as always, that entry-level build first. But then we'll see how it competes with that some other bikes as well. So this is the entry-level build, the H30, which probably, let's double check the price, make sure that's all good. $2,999, so to just $3,000 there. And this looks really, really good for the money. Pretty impressed too. So Bomber Z2, decent bars, decent stem length to it as well. DPS rear shock. Don't really need the piggyback on this kind of bike, especially the way that it rides. Brakes, bit of a downside there with the Shimano MT201s, so that's probably something that would upgrade. Decent tires, dissector front, recon in the rear, so it will be pretty fast rolling. So that kind of sets the intentions of the bike. You kind of sense it is more on that traily side of things. But yeah, as I said, 140 rear, 150 front, so a little bit more forgiveness than your typical classic trail bike there. But yeah, really, really good spec for the money. We'll take a quick look at the geometry. Already know it's pretty dialed, but on that size large, 474 reach, so bang up to date with all the trends there. I like that 470 to 480, 77 seat angle, 66 head angle, so great all round. So it's going to be a great supervised style bike. The chainstay is decently on the moderate end, so 440, so not the shortest out there, but should still be pretty fun. The wheelbase isn't ridiculous. It's pretty similar to that Siskiyou T as well. So yeah, I'm really impressed with this bike as well. Like compared to the T8, just double check the pricing on that one in the US. But yeah, $2,499 for that T8. So not quite up there with the value, but it's definitely compared to that bike, but still compared to the rest of the market. And look at the frame, like it just looks amazing. I think that's up there with the best. So we're going to give that good to excellent, amazing value on that one there. Definitely going to be in my top 5 to top 10 on those kind of more trail or mountain bikes. But we'll jump up a little bit more just so you can kind of look at the spec. But yeah, see, jumping up to that LT and that the H20 model, this looks really good for the money. So this one is around 3,600, Fox 36, Float X, getting decent brakes now. So this one is like, this would be perfect value. So if you're looking for something that start pushing a bit more in the desk sense and you're looking for that absolute perfect out of the box, so you don't need to replace those brakes or anything, this is my pick, especially if you want to push it a little bit harder. So yeah, great bikes. I'm really impressed with Orbea. They've done some good things over the past couple of years. So even in the high-end builds, like you're getting great value too. So definitely check out those bikes. I think they're some of the best on the market if you're looking for a do-it-all trail bike. But we'll jump into the Armour quickly. Again, not necessarily my style of bikes that I ride a lot of, but we'll just quickly jump in and have a quick look at the geometry. Value-wise, we already know they're going to be somewhat decent. So we'll jump on this one here. So the Armour M51, so this 2022 model. But it looks, getting a dropper post, this price point, that's not too bad, especially in a lightweight alloy. Oh, this is carbon. This price, it's pretty impressive. $2,299 carbon. Yeah, that's really good. Short dropper post, they're perfectly built for the XC size things, so 80 mil drop. Yeah, if you're looking for a, that's pretty impressive. And what's the geometry? So 68 head angle, 448 reach. Yeah, so not bad for an XC race bike. If you're looking for a lightweight XC race bike, I think that's pretty damn good. Again, kind of like that amazing to good value there. So check that one out for sure. But we'll jump into my favorite bikes from Orbea, and that's the Rise. So if you're not too familiar with the Rise, so there's a few super light e-bikes out there. So they use a smaller battery with typically a motor by motor that's slightly smaller, slightly lighter weight, doesn't have as much power coming out of it. But what Orbea actually did, they used the EP8. So the EP8 itself, which is a full powered motor, it's already pretty light itself, but they've detuned it so there's a little bit less torque, and you can also run a smaller battery as well. So that's kind of how they got around it. Especially, it's good with Shimano, a bit more support. So in terms of warranty and stuff like that, so it's good that they were able to tune a motor as opposed to kind of getting something that fits what they needed. But there's also the alloy models that just came out, and they actually use a bigger battery. So we'll quickly jump and look at the entry-level model. So $5,299 for a lightweight e-bike. That is my dream bike. I'm not going to lie. A little bit of assistance. I don't need anything crazy, but yeah, this is going to be a game changer, especially for a lot of people that kind of just wanted a little bit of assistance, want a bike that rides very similar to a normal bike that's probably going to be around sub 20 kilos, around that. I think this is a game changer. So already from that, just excellent value, kind of trendsetter here on the lightweight e-bike side of things in the market. I mean, other ones, the Levo SL and Kenevo SL, and price-wise don't even come close to competing with this. So yeah, Bomber Z2, DPS rear shock, brakes, Shimano MT410s. So not necessarily the best brakes there, but especially on an e-bike. So, but again, this price point, it's pretty crazy, but you're getting Shimano SLX drivetrain there. Cranks is always important on an e-bike. Doesn't say the length, but I'm hoping short. And then E7000 switch, which is displaying those kind of things. That's good to see as well. But yeah, 540 watt hour. Spare, I think that's compared to the 360, around 360-ish on the carbon model. Game changer. So yeah, this is my favorite bike in the lineup for sure. But yeah, jumping quick and look at the geometry, it's very similar to that Occam. So 474 reach, 66 or 65.5. Head angle, 1229 reach. But what's really good, chainstay, 445 on an e-bike. So decently short for an e-bike side of things. Just, yeah, it's the perfect bike. There's not much that you can really change on it. We'll just take a quick look at the carbon models, just confirm that battery size. So we'll look at the M20. So even the carbon models price-wise, very impressive. So $6,999 on this one, getting some good spec too. But we'll double check that battery on there. So 360 watt hours, I said. So yeah, easily going to be excellent value on those. Amazing. Definitely check those out. But we'll take a quick look at the Wild FS, which is their full fat e-bike, as they like to call it, which is still reasonably lightweight too. So you're getting that full power out of it, but still relatively lightweight too. So there is alloy builds on this one too. We'll look at the entry level one. And still looks pretty sleek for an e-bike. Like, it's not super bulky, which is I really like to see. Again, you're getting that RockShox 35, so not necessarily my favorite fork on the market. Then you're getting MT4 20 brakes. At least you're getting 4-piston brakes, but not necessarily the most power on that one. So not quite as much as good spec as that entry level on that other one, but so you're getting a 500 watt hour battery, and the motor is a Bosch as well, so the CX on that. So it's still pretty damn good for the money on that one as well. But I would probably spend a little bit more to get the next model up in this range. Just double check which fork you're getting on that. But yeah, just in terms of upgradability and future proofing of the bike, still getting a 35 model on that one. Okay. So we're going to have to go I think I've stitched myself up a little bit here. Let's check out the H10. This comes with a 30. Okay, there we go. 38. So that's probably the one that I'd go for. So $6,999. So still good value. Good to excellent value on that one. Not necessarily probably the leader in e-bikes in that sense of things compared to a few other full fat bikes, but still up there with good value as well. So that's pretty much it. I think we covered everything there. There might have been a few small models here and there that we've missed, but I think that rounds it up. So if you got any questions about the Orbea bikes, again, pretty impressed with these bikes. Good value for the money, direct to consumer, so you get a little bit. Also very customizable too in terms of the paint jobs. You can do that Orbea, the paint program that they have there. I think it's called the Mayo program, where you can customize a few things and stuff like that too. So if you want to get a cool custom color, I think that's available on some models too. So definitely check those bikes out. They'll feature a fair bit in the buyer's guides. Definitely that Occam, Laufey, and maybe the Rayon as well. So yeah, great bikes. And then I've heard good things about them on the trail as well. So spec well, ride well. That's what you want to hear. So if you got any questions about the bikes, leave comments below. Thanks for tuning in to Bikemas as well. We're cranking through it. I'll do a few more live streams, but sometimes we just got to pre-record them. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. See ya.